If you are getting absolutely hammered with all these rest days right now and teams just in complete tank mode, you are not alone. It seems like no player is safe right now from either getting randomly rested or guaranteed sitting out the second night of a back-to-back. And I'm sure for at least 90% of leagues right now, it couldn't have come at a worse time. In this video, we're going to try and navigate through the mess of the waiver wire, pick out a few gems, and hopefully earn you that championship. What's up everybody? I'm Chris, and welcome back to Number 2 Sports. Now the first guy we have up here is Kevin Huerter, the shooting guard from Chicago. The only thing more on fire than this guy's three-point stroke is his respect for the headband game. Kevin has been a fantasy stud over the last month, and especially the last 2 weeks. He's honestly going to give you great category coverage. If you look at his field goal percentage, it's always above 50. He's hitting 3, 4, 5 threes a game, close to 20 points. He's giving you rebounds, assists, steals, and even sprinkling in some blocks as well. The only downside is the Chicago only plays 3 games next week. Pretty much everyone's schedule, there isn't any heavy nights, so you should be able to fit him into your lineup each of those 3 days. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video, because like always, we'll go over last week's recommendations, and if it was championship week for most of you, let's hope those boys pulled through and help you bring home a championship. So next up on the list, we have Justin Edwards from Philadelphia, the undrafted guard out of Kentucky. Now, it wasn't too long ago that he was actually touted as a potential lottery pick in the 2024 NBA draft, but instead he went unsigned and later signed a 2-year deal with Philadelphia in the offseason. Now, we wouldn't even be considering Edwards as a streamer, let alone a waiver pickup, if it wasn't for all the injuries that Philadelphia have been dealing with over the last couple months. Their rotation has become completely decimated, and Justin has took full advantage of this. As you can see by his last 3 games, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 38 minutes a night, he's getting incredible usage, and he does enough on the defensive end that he's not a zero in the stock categories either. His percentages are great, his free throw shooting is okay, he's going to hit threes, and it looks like he's going to be close to 20 points a night. With the way Philadelphia's rotation is right now, there's a lot worse than you can do than Justin Edwards on the wire. They have a 4-game week next week against New Orleans, Washington, Miami, and Toronto, so none of those 4 teams are going to put up much of a defensive fight, and I think Justin Edwards can have a really good week. I think he's probably going to be a super popular pickup now after these last few games, and I think he can help a lot more rosters out than people think. So last guy we have up here is the journeyman, Spencer Dinwiddie, the point guard out of Dallas. Now, I'm sure this guy's probably been on a lot of rosters throughout the year, getting dropped, added, with all the various injuries that Dallas had and with the Luka deal. But if he's available on your wire, I think he could be a good pickup for this coming up week. Again, similar to Philadelphia, Dallas has had to deal with its fair share of injuries this year and also shooting themselves in the foot when they dealt Luka. But as you can see, over the last 5 or 6 games, he's putting in great lines each night. It's so hard to find assists on the waiver wire, and when you can pick up someone that has the potential to give you a double-double with assists and points, he's almost a must grab. One thing with Dinwiddie though is he can have terrible shooting nights and absolutely tank that category for you. He's actually pretty good with not turning over the rock, so he's not going to kill you there, and it looks like he's going to chip in with some boards and maybe the odd steal each night. If you can live with him potentially tanking your field goal percentage for the week, I think he's a great add, especially with a 4-game schedule for Dallas. They have the back-to-back Monday, Tuesday against Brooklyn and New York, and I don't think they have the bodies to be able to rest Dinwiddie, so you shouldn't have any issues there. Dallas finishes off the road trip Thursday in Orlando, and then Saturday in Chicago. So he has 4 pretty solid games this week, and I think he's going to put up usable lines over each one, and I think he can really help fantasy managers over the last week of most people's playoffs. Okay, so it's time for the recap. Let's see how I did with last week's recommendations. First up, we had Justin Champagnie. Okay, so this one was super frustrating. The Wizards were in complete tank mode. They gave him 19 minutes one game, then they sat him the next, just because they were scared that he's going to potentially win them a game or two. Like, what are the Wizards even doing? I don't think they know what they're doing. So first one in, I'm already taking the big old fat L on that one. That one was tragic. Tre Jones, however, was amazing. He started the first 3 games of last week being an absolute stud. However, it ended poorly. It just came out that he hurt his foot and he's going to miss the next 2 weeks. So he only got 3 out of the 4 games for him. But regardless, though, those 3 games were top notch for fantasy. So last person I recommended was Dalton Knecht. And again, the first 3 games of the week, he was awesome. He's a great source of threes, points, and he sprinkled in some cheap defensive stats with rebounds, assists, and steals. He put up a stinker last night. But besides that, 3 out of 4, I thought he was a pretty solid ad, and he definitely helped you out in the 3-point department. which was his main thing going into this week. So frickin' Champagne boy is definitely worthy of a punishment. That's on me this week, so let's get into it. I'm doing a tall boy this time, and we ain't speeding it up. You're gonna see it all natural. I imagine this week will be the last for most of you in most leagues, so good luck. I hope you get lucky with all those rest days, don't get burned by any injuries, and I hope you bring home that dub. I'm in my finals of my league right now, and it's going to come down to the wire, probably the last Sunday night game, and I know both of us have just got destroyed by rest days and injuries and teams shutting players down. I know it's so frustrating. You play fantasy basketball all year just to get to your playoffs, and all this crap starts happening. So annoying, but there's nothing you can do about it. You have to stay diligent on the wire and hope you get the right pickups at the right time. I have another video coming out in the next couple days, so make sure you're on the lookout for that. Baseball season's just around the corner. And always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.